Wake up. Stoicism and the power of will. Start with what you can do, with what you have, where you are. Epictetus. We're used to waiting for inspiration, waiting for the perfect moment, when everything aligns, when we feel ready. But Stoics say, the time is now. You don't need to wait to act. You must force yourself. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy of calm and acceptance. It's a philosophy of action. It wasn't born in lecture halls, but on battlefields, in slave quarters, and imperial chambers. It was a cry of strength, not a whisper of doubt. Stoicism teaches, the most important thing is self-control. And self-control begins with action, not with emotion, not with desire, but with a step forward. Even when tired, afraid, or hurting, the body moves. The spirit leads. 1.1 The enemy in the mirror, the illusion of I can't. You think you can't, that you're weak. But Stoicism reminds us, that's just a thought, and a thought is not a fact. Marcus Aurelius wrote reminders to himself daily. His meditations were not meant for anyone else, they were letters to his own soul. In every line, a fight against weakness, an emperor reminding himself, you're not a victim, you're the master of yourself. The real enemy isn't circumstances, it's not others, it's your choice not to act, and that enemy is in the mirror. 1.2 Discipline is greater than motivation. Stoicism doesn't believe in motivation. Motivation is like a wave, it comes and goes, but discipline is a rock, it stays. Epictetus, once a slave, taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you respond that matters. If you want to change your life, act, regardless of how you feel. Wake up early. Do what needs to be done, not what you feel like doing. Day after day, your inner fortress grows stronger. 1.3 The Stoic formula for action. Control, duty, acceptance. Control. Separate what depends on you from what doesn't. Duty. Act according to your duty, not your mood. Acceptance. Everything else, accept without complaint. This formula is a weapon. It destroys excuses. 1.4 Stoic exercises. How to force yourself to act. Visualize the worst and accept that you'll handle it. A day without comfort. Wake early, take cold showers, walk instead of drive. Daily action, even small, but every day. That's your hammer, breaking the wall. 1.5 Victory over yourself. The greatest victory. A Stoic doesn't compete with others. He competes with yesterday's self. And victory isn't applause. It's the silence within. The knowledge that you did what you must. Part 2 Stoic action. When you can't afford to wait. Moving against your will is the will itself. Everyone has moments when they don't want to get out of bed, don't want to start the day, don't want to take responsibility. And this is where Stoicism begins. Being kind when it's easy, that's not Stoicism. Being kind when you've been betrayed, that's Stoicism. Working when you feel inspired, that's comfort. Working when you're exhausted, that's character. Stoicism is the discipline of action, not thoughts, not dreams, not emotions, action. Action that does not depend on desire. It depends on principles. And even when there's a scream inside, I don't want to, the Stoic answers, but I must. Principle number 1. Be your own general. Marcus Aurelius said, let your heart be your king, and your mind your general. No one will come and make you act. A Stoic has no boss. There's only himself, the general of his life. Imagine yourself as a soldier. You're in the trench. The weather's bad, rain, mud, you're cold. But the order has been given, and the order is move forward. That order is your inner voice, the voice of duty. A Stoic doesn't seek comfort, he seeks victory over himself, because that is life's greatest battle. Principle number 2, stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is a weak weapon. It comes and goes. A Stoic acts not thanks to motivation, but in spite of its absence. Don't want to get up, get up. Don't want to go to that meeting, go. Don't want to tell the truth, speak it. Every day you force yourself, you grow stronger. And every day you give in, you grow weaker. Stoicism doesn't require inspiration. It requires will. And that's why it works. Principle number 3, work in silence. Let action speak. We often tell ourselves, once I start this new project, everyone will see. Or if I really wanted, I'd change my life. That's self-deception. A Stoic doesn't talk, he acts. He doesn't complain about circumstances. He adapts and walks forward in silence. True progress is quiet. It doesn't need likes, attention, or praise. It needs an internal flame. And every day you force yourself, you fan that flame. Principle number 4, will above comfort. Stoicism is placing will above comfort. It's when you don't scroll your phone when things get hard, you get to work. It's when you don't escape into food or distraction. You sit with your pain and accept it. A true Stoic doesn't run. He grows. And the more pressure, the more strength. Principle number 5. You are the architect of your day. Your day is your choice. Every action is a brick. And with those bricks, you build either your fortress of strength or your prison of weakness. Stoicism is not magic. It's not theory. It's specific actions, repeated, from morning to night, again and again. No excuses. You can't control the world, but you can control yourself, and that's everything. Part 3. Discipline that changes destiny. Stoic truth. No action, no change. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The task of man is to act, not to wait, not to complain, not to pity oneself, to act." But how do you act when your body feels heavy? Your mind is foggy, and the world around you screams, "Rest." There's still time. Here begins Stoicism in practice, because action is not about motivation, it's about will. A Stoic doesn't wait for inspiration. He knows that action breeds energy, not the other way around. A Stoic morning. A Stoic wakes up not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. His morning is a ritual, not chaos. He doesn't reach for his phone, doesn't seek news. He seeks himself. A moment of silence, a conversation with reason. What will I do today that's worthy of effort? Then movement. Without questions, without complaints. A Stoic is a warrior in a world of consumers. The micro-obligation method. The secret of action lies in small action. A Stoic doesn't aim for, "I'll do everything at once." He sets the goal. I'll do 1% today, but sincerely. Want to change your body? Start with 10 squats. Want to become wise? Read 1 page of Seneca. Want to put your life in order? Clean 1 shelf. Because Stoicism isn't about words, it's about action, and every step is a step toward inner freedom. Part 4. The power of inner discipline. Stoicism in the battle against inaction. There is an enemy that lives within all of us. Silent, yet incredibly powerful. Its name is procrastination. The Stoics knew that the greatest evil is not in external events, but in our internal resistance to act. When you delay what matters, you choose mediocrity. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And often, these imagined sufferings are the fear of starting, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear that it won't be perfect. But a Stoic doesn't wait for perfect conditions. He begins because he knows action is the path to freedom. What does it mean to force yourself to act? It doesn't mean forcing yourself to suffer. It means forcing yourself to get out of bed when you want to lie in, forcing yourself to face hard questions when you want to avoid them, forcing yourself to stay silent when you want to shout. It's discipline in the highest sense, a habit of proving to yourself every day that you are not a slave to emotions or conditions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Find peace within yourself, and external storms will not shake you." But that peace only comes through action. Action as a form of Stoic thought. Stoicism isn't about hiding in a cave and meditating. It's a philosophy of action. Epictetus said, "Don't talk philosophy, live it." A true Stoic is not the one who reads Seneca's quotes, but the one who practices daily, becoming better, cleaner, stronger. Even in the darkest times, action is your lantern. You can't control what tomorrow brings, but you can control what you do today. And that is the Stoic's power. Focus not on outcomes, but on effort. Let go of the ideal, act in the real world. Many people wait until they feel ready to act. They expect a moment when fear disappears and everything feels easy. But Stoicism says, that moment never comes. The ideal state is an illusion. You must act now, without waiting for permission from yourself or the world. Start small. 1 sentence, 1 call, 1 push-up. These aren't trivial. They are exercises for your will. And each action is a drop carving through stone. A Stoic is a rock. He isn't born one. He becomes one through action. Forcing yourself to act isn't cruelty. It's love for your true self. Because you know who you want to be. And the path to that version of you is not a dream, not a mantra, not another article. It is action. Small, daily, unbreakable. The true Stoic is not a robot, but a human who chooses, again and again, not to give up. This isn't about motivation. It's about character. Because character is action, repeated 1,000 times.